Okay, so in the past we talked about using the B.U.C. strategy to dissect or decompose a word problem. We're going to use that exact same strategy to graph this relationship. So for those that you may not be able to see the problem, it reads, Alicia can paint 2 walls in 5 hours. At this rate, how long will it take her to paint the 40 walls at her parents' house? So just a reminder, the B.U.C. system, and B, you're supposed to box the actual question. So we boxed, how long will it take her to paint the 40 walls? The U in B.U.C. stands for underlining the important information. So in this problem, we know that we need 2 walls that are going to be painted, and it'll take Alicia 5 hours to paint those walls. We also know that the question is asking us how long. So again, relating to time, and then how many walls. She's painting 40 walls. The C, we're supposed to circle the vocabulary words, so words that may be new to this unit. And of this scenario, the word rate is a word that's going to be new. And we've used rate before in the table. Now we're going to see how that applies to our graph. So to start out with, we're going to start with the information that we know. We know that there's going to be 2 walls in 5 hours. First, let's talk about our graph. We got to make sure that our graphs are appropriately labeled. Our axes, how our intervals are spaced in even intervals. On the x-axis, we counted by 2s. On the y-axis, we counted by 5s, but I did every other line. So we're going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so on and so forth. So if we're going to graph our first rate, which is 2 walls for 5 hours, we're going to find 2 walls on our x-axis, 5 hours on our y-axis, and we're going to plot that point. Now, if we're assuming she's working at a constant rate, that means she will always, so for every 2 hours, she will get every 2 walls, it'll take her 5 hours. So if she does 2 more, it'll again take her 5 more hours. If we do 2 more, now we're at 6 total walls. It should take her another 5 hours, which will be 15. Now that we're at this point, we can see that our rate, we increased by 2 walls, we also have to increase by 5 hours. 2 walls, 5 hours. 2 walls, 5 hours. And we're going to continue that until we get to 40 walls. If at 40 walls, it's going to take her, I suppose we should continue our graph. And we know that it's going over 2, up 5, over 2, up 5. We can continue this pattern until we get to our 40 hours. At 40 walls, sorry, I said hours, I mean walls. At 40 walls, she is going to need to take then 40 walls, it is going to take her 100 hours. So again, just to reiterate, we used our rate. We found our important information, which is 2 walls, 5 hours. 2 walls, 5 hours. That is a constant rate that she's going to use. So every 2 walls is an additional 5 hours. Our solution sentence then should look something to the fact that if Alicia can paint 2 walls every 5 hours, then
How are you?
She can paint 40 walls in 100 hours, presuming
her rate stays constant.